Today we're going to have a look at some more animation. I'm going to start off by doing one of the burst fire animations. I've just finished burst fire 1. Just been doing them myself at the moment. But my computer's lagged up already. Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off as we've done before. I'm just going to reset the scene in here. No, yes. I'm going to chuck in burst fire 2. We're going to have a look how many frames it is. 31 frames. Awesome stuff. Don't know, this copy of Max didn't open up very well. Don't know what's going on with it really. Oh, just going to have to rotate him round 90 degrees. I'm just going to have a quick peep, see what this guy's doing. It's very similar to what I've just done. So there's this bone here is the top slide, I'm assuming, and it just comes backwards and forwards very quickly. One frame back, one frame forward, back, forward, back, forward. So I'm just going to do the same thing, and then there's a little bit of recoil and sort of rest up to 30. So I'm just going to select all my frames, get rid of it all, file, save as Glock Burst 2, save. Right, so select all, we're going to have frame at the start, and then frame at the end, both exactly the same. Right, and we're going to start off just by moving this top slide backwards and forwards. So, how far does it want to come back? That's the question. I say bring it back to about. Make sure I've got auto key on. So I've got him back. I'm going to move forward. Okay. And I'm just going to take these 2 frames, hold down shift, and copy them along. Copy them along again. So you've got 1, 2, 3. But this last one I'm just going to stretch out a little bit, so the top slide comes forward a little slower. I decided to do that. Alright, next thing we want to do, that's sort of our main keys. We just want to put some really random, erratic movement on this. So both my hands are attached to the gun at the moment, and I'm just going to wear its back. Just crazy movement. Just chuck it about a little bit. Nothing too much. Just want to go a little bit. There we go, just a little crazy stuff going on. Might be a little too extreme. I mean, it's always a good idea to exaggerate your animations a little bit. I think that's a touch over the top. Just want a little bit of actual movement on there, rather than just lots of rotation. And then and have a nice big recoil on there as well, sort of to finish off. I'm just going to move him up a little bit, so it goes back in over about 3 frames, and then at about frame 10 or so I'm just going to chuck him right up the back here. So I don't know why I have so much issues with his bones. Not something that normally happens, that's for sure. Twisted right up there. Something that's ever really happened to me before, must admit. So, I think it's just because I'm recording. Yeah, I say the crazy erratic movement, and then a bit of a recoil at the end there. So that's sort of our main keys. Now we're just going to go in and refine now, really. Kind of want this to come up a bit more. Really. Maybe even a bit quicker. So about frame 80s all the way up. A little bit of twist on there. Like so. And then the rest of this timeline is just going to be him moving back into position. Gonna have a little edit. There we go. Kicks back nice and hard, especially after that free shot burst, kick back. So yeah, all you want to do is just chuck in a couple of frames where it doesn't really move too much, but just starts moving back to its original position, really. That's it. Shoot animations aren't the most complicated ones, as long as you... The main thing you want to do is have the recoil, the gun kick back in one frame, the top slide. I generally like to have it go forward in a couple more than just the one. Mainly, I know it's not very realistic and you probably wouldn't even see it kick backwards and forwards, but I think it's more the fact that this isn't real, it's a game. You know, so doing things a little not 100% realistic can often make it look a little bit better. You're trying to make aesthetics here, not necessarily realism. So having something which isn't 100% real might actually do you some favours. Quite like that, actually. A little bit. Oh, it's not going very well because I don't have auto key on. Damn auto key. Just gonna have a tiny little bit of extra twist sideways. I think it's these very minute little twists here and there that just take away that sort of linear motion that you may well end up with your animations, and it just makes things a little more interesting to look at. Actually, quite like that. So I'm going to keep that. File, save as, burst 2. I've also done the shoot animation, just a single fire, which I've done so it comes back in 1 frame and then goes back to its original position in 3 frames, and then again there's just a slight twist. Kind of surprised that the actual animation's 20 frames long, but it is. I've copied it. Push, dush, dush. Yep, so that's that one done. How long have we done? 10 minutes. That's cool. We'll go in and do the reload animation. Chuck him in. Reload, we got 76 frames. So we're going to keep just our front frame here, because that's the one that we need. 76. Okay. First and last frames exactly the same, so I'm going to go all the way to the end. Right click, copy frame 0. And we do exactly what we did with the draw. We're going to watch through this guy. One of the reasons why we're copying the positions of this animation is so it will match the sound effects which are added. And unless you can do your own sounds, or have someone that can do your own sounds, then this is the best way of getting your gun to match the sound effects. Otherwise won't be reloading, but the reload sound will be playing, and it was just going to look a bit odd. So Bush. So what's the plan? Let's have a quick peep again. The clip comes out at frame 20. Goes back in at about 40. So, right, we're going to want to do link constraints again on this blokey. Right, so we're going to want this hand detached on its own thing, and the one that needs the link constraint is going to be the clip. I'll hide this for a second. Clip. So we're going to go motion panel, assign controllers, transform, link constraint. Okay. So add link at frame 1, just main body of the gun. Oh, excuse me. Slide it along to 1. Add link. Frame 0. Then I'm going to put it up to frame 20. I'm going to link it to the hand. And then at frame 41, it's going to go. Actually, frame 40. It's going to go back to this guy. Auto key. So I'm just chucking in frames at 20 and 40, just to give us an idea of what we're doing. Right, so let's start planning this guy. Frame 20, we unhide my gun. Whoa. The clip is not meant to be up there at all, is it? I don't know why it's not being very happy with these link constraints today. Transform. Page select. Clip bone select. Link parameters. Delete link, delete link, delete link. Let's go back a few steps, I think. Right, so I'm going to have to... I think what happened there is that I told it to link at frame 20 first rather than frame 0, and it didn't like it very much. Right, go through this quick. 76. Delete everything. First and last range the same. Um, do, 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 do. It's moving straight away. What is he doing that for? Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. I tried to have a bit of a fiddle, but it's... I've no idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and cheat a little bit and open up my pose animation. I'm just going to get rid of all these. Hide. Hide. I'm just going to have to take my position and rotation values from this animation, from the equivalent bone. I'm just going to have to copy and paste it, really. To be honest, it shouldn't... It shouldn't do that at all. Oh! Well, maybe let me try something. Okay, I think I figured out what was going on. So I'm just going to start again. I'm not going to edit out all that little bit that I just done because it's kind of a good example of the problems you could have, and hopefully if it doesn't break again I'm going to show you how to fix it. But I've just started up my scene again. I'm going to put 76 frames in. I'm going to select everything, Control A, and I'm going to delete all of the keyframes. Right, now that I've deleted the keyframes, one of the problems I think I was having was that the bone was linked to our little red green box up here. So I'm going to select him and I'm going to just unlink selected. So now he's not part of the hierarchy. He has no parents or children. Right. Now I'm going to add the controller. So transform, little question mark, constraint, OK. Add link. I'm going to scroll him over to frame 1. Going to be linked to our gun. Frame 20 to the hand. And at frame 40, back to the gun. OK. Go back to the start and select everything. I'm going to auto key in the keyframe, and now at frame 20 I'm going to put in a keyframe where he's up, and then a keyframe here at 40, and a keyframe at the end of 76. Now hopefully this is going to do what we want. And move this about at frame 1. That's cool. About frame 25, whatever, 31. I'm going to move this hand about, and you're still not doing what I want. I think I found out what the problem is. This is been a bit of a funny tutorial, I think, but I don't really want to edit out the problems I've had, because then you're not going to be able to fix the same problems if you have them. So I want to try my best to kind of show you how I have fixed them. But I think what the main issue was is that this bone here was attached to this bone through a link, so I'm just going to remove that link, click in there, and I'm also going to take off the link that this arm has with the bone as well, because we want that to move independently. So I'm just going to break that link. I'm going to put us up to 76 frames, as that's what we need. I'm just going to delete all the keyframes, select all, delete the keyframes. Right, so let's go into our little bone here, assign the controller again, link constraint, okay. I basically removed these selecting links because I think I basically had two on and they were overlapping, which were causing the problems. So I've removed those, and now I'm going to just add them on from scratch. So at frame 1, we've got it linked there. Frame at 2, we'll link him, frame 20, sorry, we'll link him to the under gun. And frame 40, back to the main part of the gun. And then hopefully that will be it. I'm just going to add some frames in. Frame 0 there, then frame 20, 40. Alright, let's have a look. Please work. There we go. Okay, so frame 30 just here, between these two guys. Between 20 and 40, where it's connected to the hand, it's moving quite fluidly to the hand. And between frame 0 and 20 and 40 and 70, it's linked to the gun, which is fantastic, because that was getting on my nerves, to be honest. So I really think the main problem that we were having with the gun was that the bone was already linked to this object, and this object, well, this object was linked to that. So there we go. So now we can just start animating our gun. So okay, frame 20, we're going to want, actually I'm going to go 19. I'm going to get the gun in the position we want to have the reloading. So I'm going to have him up to the side there. Change this to local as well. So I'm going to do it so that the gun's quite in our face. I mean, we spent all this time creating a gun. You don't want to sort of not show it at all. So it's good just to do a little bit of showing off. Move him over here. It comes up like so. And then just going to copy frame 19, bang, frame 19 again here, so it comes up, stays up for the period of time of the reload, and then back down to the default position. Next thing I want to do is start to move I'm just trying to think of a kind of a fun animation. I think what I'm going to do, no, I do like a bit of animation. It's good when it works. Very cool. I want to have this little guy come back while he reloads as well. Actually, saying that, I'm not going to do that because of our deleted back facing, so you can't really do that. What I think I want to happen is I want the clip just to sort of drop out in his hand. I think the best way to do it. Right, let's move his hand into position. At the correct frame, hide. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother because it's going to take me ages if I want to fiddle about doing really crazy stuff. So I'm just going to keep it a little simple. I was thinking of him basically pressing the little clip release up here and it dropping out into his hand, but I'm just going to do something a bit more, a little less original. I always try and think of something a little more exciting with reload animations, something that stands out, something which isn't so generic, but I'm just going to go for generic here. We like a little bit of originality. Okay, so let's get him up, ripping around the bottom, like so. Let's get it in position. Keep the hand down here for a minute. So it comes down, up. Delete that frame 20 for a minute. Then I want to get to here. And what I want to do is have a slight sort of shake. What frame's that? So he's sort of slightly shaking the clip out. That push. Now, frame 30. This needs to be around the clip a little better. Right now he's not really holding on to it. So, between 20 and 30, so I'm going to have 30 with it all the way out down here. We're going to have to copy frame 20, I think. Hmm. 17. Try copy frame 20 again. There we go. And the position of this. Sorry, I'm just making sure the clip's back in the right place. So I've got it in the right place in 20, inside the gun, like so, the hand gripping onto it. And then frame 30, it's all the way out. Down here, out of the screen, I hope. It goes push, takes it out. And back up. So the main thing that we've got to do now really is make sure that it actually comes out correctly. Trying to get rid of the clipping. I'm going to bring the actual coming out of it a bit quicker. It'll come up rather slowly, and then he slams it at the end. There we go. And then as he slams it in, we're going to have the gun come up, push, like so. So he smashes the gun up, crash, and back into position. Sure, you do a bit of a better job than that. Crash. So there's one quick smash. I'm going to go to about frame 50. I'm going to copy frame 43. And then at frame 50 I'm going to do a sort of very small amount of movement, and that creates that anticipation, that slow movement there. There's a quick movement and then a slow movement. So smash, and then it slows down, sort of easing out, that's called. So easy animation out, bush. Just want to do a little bit of a... I mean, this is becoming a little bit of a mess, these keyframes, so I'm just going to... As I've been saying, you want as few keyframes as possible, really. It's, you want to try and reduce any clipping that you might get. Just don't want this gun to move for a minute. Clip out, clip in, bush. I'm just getting the dual clip in the right place first. That looks about right. So I was going to start having a bit of a fiddle about. Still got a little bit of clipping. I mean, the problem is, if you can hide clipping, if you can't see it, then it doesn't matter, it's there, it's not happening, as far as the player is concerned. But if it's right in your face and you can see it, that's where the issues start to happen. So what I'm doing is, I'm just going to start adding a little bit of movement in this 20 frames that we've got just here, where the clip's coming down. Just a little bit of a wobble. A little bit. Just like this. Still got to fix this clipping. Possibly the best way to fix the clipping, maybe to... Where is it? Just here. I'm just going to move our model over a touch, I think. There we go. Crack. And again, I've got a long space here with just a very generic movement, so I'm just going to put a little twist in, some description, just to take the blandness out. I think what I'm going to do is around here, I'm going to have the gun drop in a little touch, because that's really going to emphasise. So as he takes clip down, it drops down, it's just going to emphasise that slamming up. Right there. I'm just going to make a few slight adjustments. So yeah, if that gun, the gun moving down a touch, as the clip's going up and down, it's just going to help give it that extra distance to move up. And again, emphasize bash that motion. So, what else do we need to do? We just need to make a few changes to this hand. Put a little bit of movement on the fingers. They seem a little bit boring. I actually think this hand is dropping out a little bit too fast. I'll put him up to 35. That downwards movement. Just here, isn't it? Make him come down even further. So the only thing I really want to edit now is just that little movement I was having at the start. It's meant to be him sort of pressing the little button or whatever on the site. I mean to say, I'm not. Right, just move this all up a little bit. Can't really do that. No, I think that would do. So this is one of those animations where you do end up getting a lot of clipping. You often have to do quite a bit of fiddling about like I'm doing now just to sort of fix it all. I'm trying not to force them out by just adding frames where they're not there. I'm removing the actual major keyframes to get rid of them. I think, to be honest, I think that will do. I'm going to just sit and fiddle about. But I mean, I've done the major keyframes, like I said, and once that's done, it's just really fiddling about and getting it absolutely perfect. But for now, that's going to do for this tutorial. I'm going to play around a little bit more with my reload, make it a bit smarter. But this is the general method of animation. There's another couple of animations which you should be able to do by yourself, being one of the shoot animations and what was the other one? Yeah, no, it's two shoot. There's a burst fire and a normal shoot. But have fun with them because animation is good once you get going. Bit tricky, and as you may have noticed, you do get these really annoying little issues. But you'll get past them.